All right, good afternoon. Happy Friday, everybody. Hold on, my screen is very dirty. Give me a second. I think that's better. All right, let's try that again. All right, so we're gonna get started. Let's go in a seated position. So any comfortable seat, if you want to sit up on a block or anything like that, or a pillow, blanket, anything that you have. Okay, we're just gonna bring those hands to the front of the knees. Take a big breath in, sit up a little bit taller, and exhale. Just sigh it out, just relax. And then one more time, big breath in, and exhale it out. All right, go ahead and keep those hands here. We're just gonna roll it on back, so we're gonna find a big stretch between those shoulder blades, really rounding through the spine. Okay, tucking that chin. And then we're gonna bring it forward. So flatten out that back as we just hover that chest right above the shins. So a little bit of a stretch through those outer hips. And then we'll sweep it on over to that left knee. We'll start to round the spine as we lean. We'll roll it on back, again, finding that position that we started, holding it there. And then we'll swoop it over to that right side as we bring it forward. Again, just hover that chin, the chest right above those shins. We're gonna go one more time the other direction. So go over to that right side first, and then round it on back. Pause the back, and then we'll go over towards that left side, and then bring it forward. So just pause here, walking those hands forward, flattening out that back, and then maybe walking those hands forward a little bit more. And then walk it back. Let's go ahead and switch that cross of the legs. Go ahead and bring, again, those hands to the front of the knees. Go ahead and round it back. And now bring it forward, flatten out that back. Now we'll go over to your right side first. So hover that chest and start to round that spine as we roll it on back. We'll go over to that other side. Pause it for a center at the front. And we'll swoop it over to that left side again, go in the other direction. Pause in the back for a breath. And then come over to that other side. Bring it forward, pause in the front, and then walk those hands forward as we fold. So again, stretch out through that other hip. And let's walk those hands back. Sit up tall. Let's go ahead and just twist it over to that right side. So that left hand is gonna come across that right knee. Sit really tall, and then exhale. See if you can find maybe a little bit more twist. And then let's go right into that other side. So your right hand is on that left knee. Sit up tall. Exhale, twist. And then bring it back to center. Let's go ahead and reach that left arm up. Big reach up and over. Let's bring it back up. Go to the other side. So reach that arm up and over. And one more time each side. We'll twist it over to the right. And we'll go over to the left. Let's go back to center as we reach that left arm up and over. Okay, then we'll come back to the other side. Good, then bring it back up. Let's go ahead and lower onto our hands and knees, that tabletop. So we're gonna send that right leg straight back, flex that foot, point those toes down. That left hand is gonna reach forward, find that balance first. We're gonna pulse it to start. So keep that core tight. We're just gonna lift the heel, lift that arm up. So we go for 10, 9, keep that back flat, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Curl it in, rounding that spine. Pull that elbow to the knee. Inhale, reach it back. Curl it in. And reach. And curl. Reach. Curl. Last two. Extend. Curl. Extend. Ooh. And curl it in. Reach it out. And lower that hand down. Let's go to the other side. So we're going to extend that left leg straight back. Right arm is going to reach forward. Again, pulse it. Go for 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Curl it in. Reach it out long. And curl. And reach. Curl. And reach. We got 2 more. Curl it in. Reach. Curl. And reach. And then lower that hand down. Lower that knee down. Maybe add some sways from side to side. Maybe some cat-cow so you can round through that spine. And then we'll extend that spine. Ooh, excuse me. Right now, bring it back to that plank position. Let's wake up a little bit. So me as well. Okay, so really strong through those legs, pressing into those palms, those fingertips. Let's hold it here for 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Hips up, down dog. And now we're going to step that right foot outside that right hand. A little stretch through those hips. So think about back knee is lifted away from the mat. So this quad muscle right here is really flexed. And then press those hips straight down towards the ground. Even think about pressing forward and down. And then send that leg back to our down dog. And then we'll come to the other side. Left leg, your left foot steps outside that left hand. Again, really strong through that right quad. So this muscle in the front of the leg. So you press those hips forward and down. Big stretch through that left hip, inner thigh, hamstring, and all of the above. And 1 more breath. And then send that leg back to that down dog. Get that good stretch through the backs of the legs, maybe even stretching out through those calves. So we'll bend one knee, press that opposite heel down. Now again, we're going to come forward to a plank position. Okay, we're going to send our right knee to our right elbow. Stay in that plank. Send it back out. We're going to go left knee, left elbow. Send it back out. Okay. Now, if you need to do this on your knees, you can. Okay, we're going to do this a few more times. Okay, you can do that option. Try not to have the hips high. We want the hips pressing forward, so we're engaging through that core. All right, let's get that blood flowing a little bit. So, plank position. We're going to go right knee, right elbow. Inhale it back. Exhale, left knee, left elbow. And back. So here we go. Right, left, right, left. Here we go. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Pause and plank. And then hips up, downward facing dog. Let's go ahead and walk those feet up to our hands into that forward fold. Flat back on that inhale. And exhale, slide those hands down as we fold. Just let that head hang heavy. We'll be grabbing opposite elbows. If you want to add a little sway from side to side, just really gentle. And if this is too much on the low back, just bring those hands to the shins, take a little bit of pressure off, and then shift a little bit more weight into your heels. Now we're not lifting our toes up. We're still gripping with the toes. I'm just shifting a little bit more weight into the heels, shifting more weights into the glutes and the hamstrings. Now let's bend into those knees. We're going to come up to standing. Again, reach it up nice and tall, adding in that side stretch. This time we're going to interlace those fingers, point those palms up towards the ceiling. Then we're going to bend it over to that right side. Inhale it back up. Exhale, bend it over to that left side. Good. Inhale, reach it back up. And then we'll lower those hands down as we fold. And find that flat back. Then exhale, fold and let the head just hang heavy. Now bend those knees. Let's rise up to standing. Again, we'll reach it up tall, interlace those fingers, palms up, side stretch over to the right side. Inhale it back up. Exhale it to the left side. Inhale, reach it back up and release those hands as we fold it forward. Find that flat back. And then we'll plant those hands. Let's go and step those feet back to a downward facing dog. Okay, now we're gonna step that right foot outside that right hand. Okay, holding that stretch here. Now from here, okay, if this is accessible, what we're gonna do is we're gonna kind of drop the hips down. We're gonna lift the hips high, and then we're gonna switch feet hop. So the left foot's gonna land outside the hands. Now, if you just wanna go really quick, kind of back into a down dog each time, you have that option as well. Okay, but if you wanna take it up a notch, start with that right foot forward. Here we go. We're gonna hop the hips and switch. So that's 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Woo. Go ahead and lower those knees down, toes together, and then send those hips back into that child's pose. Just give it a little break here. And let's come back onto those hands and knees. Again, we'll step those feet back to our plank. Okay, we're gonna do that one more time. So whatever modification you are at, okay, or if you even just wanna do the mountain climbers to the knees, that's another option for you too. Okay, so down dog first. Let's step that, let's go left side first. Left foot steps outside the hand. Okay, then we're gonna lift the hips, bring them down, and then we'll switch sides. Here we go, 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Woo, down dog, and then lower the knees down. Send it back to that child's pose. You can bring those knees as wide as you would like. So the wider the knees, the more of the stretch you get through that inner thigh, if that's something you need. Yeah, go ahead and bring it on back to that down dog. And let's hold that stretch. So we're done with the hops. Just stepping that right foot outside that right hand. And then from here, go ahead and lower down onto those forearms if that's accessible. You may even bring this right hand inside that knee, press away as we twist. So it gives you, again, that stretch to the outer hip. Just hold it here for a couple breaths. Now, if you notice, I'm flexing this foot, so I'm not rolling through, you know, like if you roll your ankle, it kind of looks like, I don't know if you can see my foot, kind of looks like that. And you can start to, especially if you have rolled your ankle like I have, this does not feel great. So I keep it, you want to keep it nice and flexed as we let that knee open up. And then you can release that knee. Just go ahead and lower down onto those forearms. So kind of square off the body a little bit more. Flatten out that back. That knee can still open up a little bit. You'll just get a little bit more stretch through the inner thigh, the hip flexor even, and into that hamstring. Good, and come back to those hands. Let's go ahead and switch sides and just send it back to a down dog. And then we'll go to that left side. So step that left foot outside that left hand. Lower that knee down. You can stay on your hand or you can lower onto that forearm. And then we'll bring that left hand right inside that left knee. And then press that knee out as we twist open towards that knee. Again, flex that foot. We want to be coming onto that outside edge of the foot with that nice 90-degree angle in that foot and ankle joint. And then when you're ready, just go and lower down onto those forearms, or maybe even staying on those hands if this is feeling really tight today. And come back to those hands. Let's go ahead and step it back to a down dog. And now come to a seat. If you are on a yoga mat and then on like a hardwood floor surface, sit your hips off to the, so you're off the mat, because we're going to go into a wide leg fold. So you want your ankles, not your ankles, your heels on the mat. Okay. If you're on carpet or a rug, don't worry about it. Okay. But sit up nice and tall. You can bend those knees a little bit, flexing those feet. Now, back is nice and flat, thinking hinging from the hips to kind of roll yourself forward. So you want to be, if you sit tall, you're going to notice your hip bones pressing into the ground, and then you want to roll forward to the front parts of the hip bones, so you aren't going to feel them quite as much. Okay, a little more active in the legs. So think we're going to squeeze our glutes to pull our feet wide. They're not really going to move a whole lot. It's just going to be a little bit more. You'll feel this stretch a little bit more through those inner thighs when we do that. That same idea of stabilizing while finding that mobility. And maybe walking those hands a little bit further forward. Good, couple more breaths. And let's bring it back up. Go ahead and lower that left elbow onto that left thigh. Right arm reaches up and over. Big side stretch, like we're trying to reach for that toe. We want to keep the shoulders stacked. So think almost rotating your right shoulder open, or right shoulder back a little bit more. And we'll bring it back up. Let's go to the other side, lowering that right elbow down, left arm reaches up and over. And same idea, rotating that left shoulder back a little bit more. And then go ahead and bring it back up. Let's go ahead and bring those bottoms of the feet together. That butterfly stretch. So same idea, we want that back nice and flat, sitting tall, grabbing onto those ankles, and then just leaning it forward. So if your inner thighs are super tight, you might be sitting up a little bit taller. Just try not to round to get into this position. We're not really doing a whole lot of stretching. We're just kind of putting a lot of strain on our back, which we don't want. So sit tall here and then lean it forward. Now, it's not necessarily bad to round through your spine. Sometimes you do want your spine to be able to move in all directions, but we don't really want to be in that position when we're trying to stretch. It's not the safest position on your spine. Good, now rise back up. Let's go and bring those knees together, and then we're gonna do this a little bit slower. So a little bit more core work. Slide those legs out long. Pull those feet towards each other. Okay, we're gonna reach the arms forward. Start to round or roll it down one vertebrae at a time. So feel the tailbone and those the lumbar spine, so like that low back. Keep going, trying to feel each individual vertebrae. A lot of core work here. And then we'll extend those arms up overhead, that full body stretch. And then we'll hug those knees in. Let's cross that right ankle over that left thigh, tailbone down, hugging, grabbing onto hamstring, or we can grab onto that shin. Either way works. Tailbone is down, chest is lifted, shoulder blades are walking together, flexing that foot, and then hug that knee in a little bit more. Go ahead and release, just switching sides. Cross that left ankle over. Grab onto that hamstring or that shin. Tailbone stays grounded down as we hug that knee in a little bit more. You're gonna go ahead and release it down, uncross it, hug that right knee in, that left leg can just extend out long. We're gonna go into that twist. So left hand will just guide that knee across, right arm reaches out. Take a big breath in and exhale a little deeper into that twist. And then bring that knee back to center and let's switch sides. Hug that left knee in, right leg extends out, and then we'll twist that knee across as that left arm reaches out. So big breath in and exhale, twist. And then bring that knee back to center. Go and roll on up to that seat. Let's just take a couple breaths here just to kind of find a little bit of calm before we go on with the rest of our day. So roll those shoulders down and back, lifting through the chest, closing down those eyes. Just taking those really big breaths in through the nose and out through the nose. Just noticing that rise and fall of the chest, of the belly. Just noticing if the mind starts to wander. And then just bring that focus right back to that breath. Just be here a little bit longer. All right, leaving those eyes open. Thank you guys so much for joining me. Have a great rest of your Friday. And then I will see you guys back here Saturday at 9:30. All right, have a good one.